Hello, everyone. We got just a couple more minutes until we get started. You will see the back end of Canva today, because since a lot of you were interested in presenting with Canva, I'm going to show you the back side of Canva when I present. So you will still see all the slides, but you'll also see like the presenter view. So. And at the end of the presentation today, I will also share the slides with you so you have them as a reference. There are lots of screenshots of where things are in the interface that we're going to talk about today. So you'll have the whole slide deck. So as you're thinking about taking notes, know you're going to get a link to the slide deck too. Okay, so what you're seeing is actually what the presenter view looks like in Canva if you're presenting in Canva. This is Canva tips and tricks today, and I am Julie Halitska. I am the Jefferson training coach. On the screen with me, you see pictures from a Canva Community Labs event I went to in Louisville. It was a free event, and someone from Canva came and showed us all the new fun, cool features of Canva. And so I learned some things at that I'm going to highlight in this presentation today. But we're going to start with reviewing your registration results. So these were the things that you could rank, and that's how they ranked according to your results. So presenting in Canva was actually the first thing you were most interested in. Artificial intelligence, Canva docs, bulk create, all the way down to accessibility checker. All of these things are in the presentation. So if one of your things is low on the list that you want to learn, it is in the presentation. And if I don't get to explain it, it will be in the presentation for you to review. And this is just a heat map of first choice versus last choice there as far as what your interests were. So start with presenting with Canva. Presenting with Canva inside of the Canva presenter mode. So this is, you see the Canva presenter screen. So if you are presenting a Canva presentation, there are some features here. You've got your current time. You have the length of time the presentation timer has been running, and you can pause that or reset it. And then on the next screen, nope. Next slide. These are all the things at the top right. So you can draw on the page of the slide when you're presenting. If you want to highlight a certain thing, I can highlight. I'm doing draw on your slide right now. That's handy. Magic shortcuts. And I don't think you see those in the presenter mode, so I will have to exit out and show you those later.
We heard the confetti, Julie. It was just like a pop. Yeah.
Okay. Normally it will actually show you confetti too. That's why I was not seeing it. But there's drum roll. There's a mic drop. You can, if your participants, you're trying to come back from something and they're loud, you can have it for you. So that's just kind of fun features. Timer. It has a timer if you're doing a break. And you can up or down by a minute and start the timer while in the presentation at any point. So if you're doing small group work or giving a break, you can set this timer and then press start and it will start counting down for you. Again, I think because I'm in presenter mode, I'm not seeing it right now, but you can remote control the presentation from your cell phone, which is also something that's really nice about Canva. It gives you a QR code to scan, and you can use your phone as the remote control. If you don't have a presenter remote, that's super handy. And then under this 3 dots, you have Show Magic Cursor. which is see the blob moving around on the screen where my pointer is? There's like a green circle. So you can point at specific things on the slide that you want to draw attention to. So you can show and hide that. You can have it show or hide live edits. Maybe you're presenting with a team and something's wrong. Somebody could go and edit something. Do you want those to be visible or not? If you had an autoplay section, you could start that, and then you can reduce motion. If you have somebody, say, with epilepsy in your training, and the motion can sometimes be a trigger, so you want to use minimal motion overall, but it will automatically reduce animations in the presentation with that button. And then close is X out of presentation mode. So the present button, when you go to present a presentation you've created, is at the top. And present, you can show the presenter view right there. Any questions about the basic presenter features in Canva? You can unmute or type in chat.
Julie?
Yes.
I am, so just to make it clear, so someone would be like on Zoom or Teams, and they would open that up first, get their people in, and then they would hit the presenter mode for presenting with Canva.
Correct. We're on a Zoom call right now, and I'm sitting here with Canva open on my second screen, and I've shared that screen, and there are different ways you can share yourself. You should see me kind of above my presentation, but you don't have to do it that way. That's a Zoom feature. But yes, I am using the Canva just like I could use PowerPoint in a Zoom call. I'm using Canva. Let's talk about AI features in Canva. There are a number of different AI features in Canva. First of all, Canva has a whole AI engine, kind of like you have ChatGPT or Gemini. When you open Canva, you go to the home page. It starts with your designs, but then you can go to templates, or you can go to Canva AI. So if you go to Canva AI, that's where you can put in a prompt, just like you would with Gemini or ChatGPT. So to create a design, let's say I want an image, a young child playing with blocks. And it is generating. Not bad. So there are 4 images. To use them, you can use the image. It'll open something new, or you can download with the arrow and download, and you've got an image. Let's look at something text-based. Create an outline of a training on someone throw out a topic.
Supervision.
And let's say early childhood, because obviously Canva is used by lots of people with lots of ages. All right, so, okay. Now let's see what happens when we click Use Canva Editor. It takes that outline and it puts it in a document. Now here's some more of the AI features. I actually just found this one yesterday. Magic Switch will switch it from one kind of document to another. So if I say transform it into a, let's see, we have a presentation outline. What can I say? Presentation slides. Let's try that. Will it? No, it wants me to pick one of these things. So, all right, let's translate it into song lyrics. So anywhere in Canva you see the word magic is some kind of AI feature.
Are there like some kind of credits or price attached to these things, or do you have to have the special Canva for educators?
It depends on what you're looking at. The things you see that have a crown next to them are generally the things that are paid, but not all of the AI features are paid. Let me head back here. So that was... All right, back into the Canva presentation here. So I was here, AI features in Canva. So some of them have, a lot of them it looks like have the magic crown, but not everything. Generate notes, you notice, doesn't. This is neat. If you're in a presentation, and let me pick one that has some text on it. Canva Docs versus Flyers. And if you don't have notes for a slide, you can actually click Generate Notes, and it will read the text that's on your page. It doesn't read alt text and images, but it will read the text on your page and create a script for you based on the text you have on the slide.
Can you see if you can change the tone of the script? Like, I'm just interested to see, how you can change your tone and other things.
Look, they have shorten notes, rewrite more fun or more formal. So
nice.
Should we go, let's go more fun. There you go.
Thank you.
So yes, it can change the tone also once you do notes. Another thing, the other thing is, and I'm going to come back to this slide, add alt text. So when you check accessibility in Canva, file, accessibility, check design accessibility, alternative text. Okay, it's showing 3 issues. Oh, because I added some images. So you can add alt text and it can suggest for you. And Brown. Again, you might want to describe the person, but it will suggest alt text for images for you too, which can be handy. That's another one of those AI features. Any other questions about AI in Canva? It's kind of hidden through, it's all throughout the interface. When you see, let me close that accessibility sidebar to make this bigger. When you see kind of these stars somewhere next to a button, that means it's taking advantage of AI. And then there's some kind of AI feature there. All right, next is Canva Docs versus Flyers. So Canva documents and Canva flyers, they're both things that you can use to make documents. So documents are best for complex documents with lots of text, with headings and columns and tables, things you would use Word for. You would use a flyer if you want something that's much more graphically rich and designed. And the next slide here, I'm going to show you an example of both. And it's going to take a second to load because you can actually embed a Canva document inside of a Canva document. And that's what I did here. So what you see that has showed up on the right-hand side, that is, I'm going to make this bigger again. That is a Canva document for an event we're having in Jefferson. It's very graphical. There's 2 columns here, there's 2 columns here, and they're not the same. There's logos, there's a lot more colors and detail. That is a flyer. And actually the 3rd page is the social media graphic because you can mix sizes in the Canva flyers. Whereas the document over here, it's very much like you'd see in Word. Lots of text with headings. You can still embed things into it, but it's not as graphical. It doesn't have a background behind the whole thing. It's not complex layout. It's basically just text. So the left-hand side, that's a Canva document versus this is a document that has a flyer and a social media image in it. Does anybody have questions about documents versus flyers in Canva? Nothing? All right. Then next, bulk create in Canva. There is a nice little video that is going to explain this to you in only a few minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and play that for you now. Somebody let me know if you can hear the computer audio once I start this or if I need to reshare. Did that make sense watching that? So you basically take an Excel sheet. You can take an Excel sheet. I've done it with quotes on the trainer page when we used to do quotes all the time. And you can have a column that's like the title, the image, the quote, for example. And then you basically make one document that has the placeholders for those three things. And then it uses the spreadsheet to populate all of it. So that could be something that's super handy. Any
I'm
questions?
glad it's recorded, because when I need it, I won't remember, but I'll remember. I could go back to this.
Yes, it's in the presentation I'll share with you so you can watch it. But Canva has lots of videos like that too on different tasks that you're trying to learn. So that's really handy. Any questions about bulk create? All right. QR code generator. Canva has a built-in QR code generator. So when you want to put a QR code on your slide, whether for a sign-in, whether for a survey at the end of your training, you don't have to go out to another tool to make a QR code. And actually, you can see it here on my screen. On the side column, there's apps. You click apps, and then you search QR code. It will bring up all the apps for QR codes. Generally, I use just the one that says plain old QR code. And then you can enter the URL, or you can copy, or for example, the link to your form if you're doing a survey, and you paste that there and it will generate the code. It is that easy. And then it will automatically insert that into a document. So we'll just, for fun, take the catchy song lyrics I made earlier on Canva, and I can paste that URL here and click generate code, and it plops it in my document. So super easy to make a QR code, and then you can move it around, you can resize it, whatever you need to do with it. My screen is too small now. Let's see. I can make that bigger. Is that a little better? Okay. Any questions about QR code generator? So it's under apps, and this is a slide picture. It shows you apps, and then you search for QR code generator.
I have a general question about the QR codes.
Yeah.
Because there's so many different generators for QR codes.
Yes.
And I find myself making a lot of QR codes here and there and everywhere. Have you come up with, is there a good place to keep your QR codes, or like to remember where you created them or stored them? Does Canva have a list of the QR codes you've made there? A lot of questions, but if they have a good list of my codes, then I would just use them.
They don't have a list per se. I think though in your upload, well, I was going to say, no, it doesn't actually show in my uploads. They're going to stay in whatever design you use them in. But other than that, I don't know that there is really a good
way to keep track.
You just end up kind of recreating them again as you need them, unless you name it what it is when you download a copy.
There you go. Okay. I know that's off topic a little bit, but yeah. Okay. So just rename it and drop it into a QR code file.
Yeah. That would work.
Sounds good.
Okay. Any other questions about QR codes? All right. Magic resizing. This is one of the reasons I think Canva is great and I use it more often, is because you can take a document and resize it to be something else. So I have a presentation and I want a handout to match. I could resize it and copy the first page with the elements and move them around to make a handout template. If I make a flyer for an event, I can copy and resize it to make a social media image. So resize. And let's say I was making social media, TikTok, Facebook, see all. How about a flyer? Let's say I was making a flyer for an event that I have a presentation for. You can either copy and resize or just resize. So the difference is, if you just resize, your whole thing that you have right now is going to change sizes. So if you don't want to change this document to a different size and you just want something else with the same look, always copy and resize. And you can also choose to do this with all pages or just a single page. Because obviously if I'm making a handout, I don't necessarily need every page to change size. I just need one with the look on it to create the other thing. So I may just go page 1 and then copy and resize. And it's going to take a second. And then apparently it came from a real estate flyer. And then it has all the elements, and then I can basically just move them around where I want. Move the shadows to the edges. Maybe I'll move my Canva logo up, or you could make it just a header. And then I could just add a text box below. Let's say that I wanted to turn this into something for social media. So I can click social media. I'm going to copy and resize. And open social media. And again, it has separate, this design has just adding some shadows. So you move those to the corners. Maybe I would want this bigger. So I can just kind of drag and resize. And there's a document that, again, I wouldn't leave it like that. I'd do more, but so then you have documents that coordinate really easily, and they graphically look the same. Any questions about resizing?
How did you get there?
How did I get there? Resizing is at the top in any document you're in, at the top left. Resize. So when you're in a design. So if I start from home, I can go into any document. I'll just pick a different one. And then at the top, resize. And you will notice that one does have a crown next to it. So you may need it. If you have an educator account, it is included free with the educator account. That's helpful. Good. I'm glad that's helpful. All right. Setting up your brand kit. What is a brand kit and why would you want one? Okay, so a brand kit is something that is your logos and your colors and your font that represent you. Why would you want to have a brand kit? Why not just be creative on everything and use whatever fonts you want? Because know, like, and trust is identified by looking. The more people know you and see you as the same thing, the more your brand gets into their brain. So the more you look alike on everything you do, the more your brand gets in their brain, the more they're likely they are to recognize your stuff. Canva lets you set up a brand kit. So this is a blank one. This is what the childcare wear brand kit looks like that I have set up. So I have the logo in, I have the color palette in, I have fonts in. It is over on the side. Again, this one is one of those ones that you have to have an educator account for, or a paid account, but the brand kit lets you upload that logo and those colors and those fonts. You can even do voice or photos or other graphics. Why is that cool when you go to make a new document? Let me show you. Let's pick a random template. Let's say social media event post. Absolutely delete. Templates, layouts, templates. All right, let's just pick something. Let's just pick the first page. Sure, why not? So I have this random, I'm going to zoom out so you can see the whole thing. So this is what it gave me. Now, the colors, when I click here, it shows me my brand kit colors. So I can instantly make it look like me. And this font color, actually, I think I just want white. So you can make it look like your brand really easily. And let me go to that brand kit and let's stick a logo in there. And I can put the logo there. want to resize that so it fit in the space. Cancel. Because that image had a size, I would detach it from the background and then resize. So it makes it really easy to make things look like your brand when you have the brand kit set up, because that set of colors is there every time I open a document. The other thing is a lot of the images you add in Canva, if you are adding graphics. So let me see if I can find something with a couple different colors. I don't know for sure, but we'll see. Yes. See, this one has like 3 different colors in it, this graphic. I can go and choose different colors from my brand kit to recolor any of the images to make it look like our colors. So that's the other advantage of having that brand kit. Any questions about brand kits? Okay, erasing image backgrounds. Why would you want to erase an image background? Well, I have an example of actually what our advertising images that we use for FET. And if I go to each page, all of the children in these images, and there's that little girl, that's the image I used, and I erased the background and put her in the marketing image. So when you are erasing a background, let me close this to make this a little bigger. You literally just click on the image, click background remover, and it's done, which is a long way from 10 years ago in Photoshop, clicking and clicking and clicking and erasing and clicking and erasing and using a stamp tool to try to put the background back. It makes it really handy to use photos in marketing or even on your PowerPoint slides, for example. Anybody have any questions about background erasing? Ah, yes. That tool at the top has lots of different things whenever you click on an element that you can do with it. So I could flip her the other direction if it works better for my design. You can flip vertical. If you wanted to animate, you can. That's how you have things appear on click like you do in PowerPoint. And there's different ways of it coming in that you can choose. If for some reason the background removal doesn't work well, there is a manual eraser. If you want to round the corners of an image, and without the background, you wouldn't see anything here. Let me go back over to this slide. You can round the corners of an image. Say, because there's a lot of circle edges, you can just round it. So yeah, that top bar has lots of things you can move at the top that you can use for your images. All right, the next feature is the accessibility checker, because we want to make sure our designs are accessible to anyone. This is actually a pretty good accessibility checker. It has checking the design accessibility, which is your color contrast and your alt text. Text semantics is letting you pick things that are headers if someone's reading it to someone. So it helps create structure in the document. Reduce motion, and then navigate by layer order. So I will go ahead and take my presentation, and like I said, I think I did this once already. There were a couple images I added to a slide at Christine's request. And the heart I just added, it came up as needing text. The logo I just added on that slide came up as needing text. And you can click through and add, or let's see if it reads it for us, suggest. And it does a pretty good job at creating alt text. That's a pretty descriptive and accurate. And you can save, or if things are just decorative, there's no actual content that someone needs, you can actually check no alt text. So it will go through the whole presentation, every page of it, and check it for you. Let me do accessibility. I'll show you text semantics. And this one, I don't know if you can see it. I can barely see it because the text is yellow and it's showing up the color it is. But say social media report is this one. So I can actually set that as my heading. So when it reads it, it has context. And then I think the rest of it would be just normal paragraphs, but you could set things as heading to or quotes. And that does change. It gives the document structure if it's being spoken to someone who cannot see it. Other questions that you guys had: recording over a presentation for people to watch on their own. I do not recommend using Canva for that. You can use the presentation when you record in another piece of software. Canva does not let you make changes on a slide-by-slide basis. You would have to re-record the entire presentation in order to fix anything, unless you're going to download the whole thing and edit it. And that's why I don't recommend using Canva. If you're doing a one slide, a 2-minute video, it would probably be fine, because if you have to redo it, it's not a lot to redo. But if you're trying to do a longer presentation, you can still use Canva to present, but I would record with Zoom or Loom, and then Loom probably, and because you can edit that and edit pieces of that out really easily. Accessing your own photos. You can upload your own photos. And anything you copy and paste into Canva, which you see a lot of screenshots from this presentation are showing up at the top of what I've put in, whatever you upload will be here. Whatever I've uploaded from time eternal is all here. Images, video, audio. And I don't have any folders, but you can create upload folders. The other question I had was about online self-paced using Canva. When I have done that, I've used Canva Docs. For example, the independent study document that I shared back on the Docs versus Flyers page that's coming up. This was actually an independent study, and everything for that was in that document. You can, however, if you are interested, you set up a classroom, and you can set up assignments on Canva within that classroom. You still wouldn't have a method to pay. You still don't have a grade book, but you could assign things through Canva. If you're interested in that, I'm going to recommend you do the Canva Essentials course, and I'll show you where to get to that next. It'll walk you through all the features of classrooms and assignments. And that is the apps that connect. So this menu is on the home page of Canva. And under the More, so Canva AI will take you to a Canva AI screen. Apps will be, if you want to say, design and productivity tools. So all apps like the QR code picker would be under here. And those kinds of things. Content Planner is if you wanted to publish directly to social media. If you only have, say, one social media account you're trying to publish to, you could connect your Canva account to your social media account and publish directly from Canva to, say, Facebook or Instagram. And then Design School is where you will find the Canva courses. They are free, which is always the right price, right? When you're trying to sign up for something. And there's Canva Essentials. There is a Canva for teachers. I don't think it's showing here for me because I did it already. But if you look at courses and certified courses, there's a Canva for teachers that will show up if you haven't done it already. There are lots of different, the Teacher Essentials. That will take you through creating assignments and setting up a classroom if you wanted to do that. But there are so many things Canva provides, and it's like they have lots of those videos like the one we watched for Bulk Create. So if you want to learn more about Canva, I highly recommend, again, under that More Design School has lots of different videos to show you different features in Canva. Any questions about that? All right, let me get you back to our presentation for today. Other questions? I know I've gone through a lot today. Okay. Well, before we log off the call, two things. First, some staffing updates with the training coaches. So Miss April has moved into a data support specialist position. So she's no longer the training coach in the Lakes. Right now, Miss Bethany is covering for her. Sharon Norris is retiring. And as Sharon has retired, Bambi's taken over both Northern and Southern Bluegrass. That means there is a training coach position that will probably open up soon, so keep your eyes peeled if that's something you'd be interested in. And they've also been interviewed for an early childhood content developer, which is going to be a new role on our training coach team. So stay tuned for updates on the new staff on the training coach team, as well as there is a trainer track at the Early Childhood Workforce Summit in March. These are the 3 trainer courses that will be offered at that event. There is also going to be a networking breakfast for directors and trainers to connect on Wednesday morning. So the QR code for the registration is here. You can take one or all of the trainer courses in combination with early childhood courses over the 2-day conference. So we hope you will sign up for that and join us at that conference. Does anybody have any questions? If you need help with anything as you dig in, please feel free to reach out to your training coach or to me, and I'm sure we would be happy to help you. It's more, presentations like this, I feel more like, oh, here's all the things I could do. Now I need to go play and see if I can actually do it. So if you get to the point where you're playing and you need help actually executing, then let us know and we would be happy to help you. And I will send you out the presentation link, and once it's done, the video. Connie, yes, those are the only 3 that are count as how to train adults. I'm glad it was helpful. Thank you all. I'll stop my share.
Hey, Julie, I have a question for you.
Yes.
If I have a presentation that I've made in PowerPoint, but I want to import it into Canva because I want to make it more Canva-y.
Yes.
Like, how? I didn't see a spot. I haven't seen a spot where I can take something I've started in PowerPoint, bring it over to Canva, and then add a template to it to make it like cuter. Because like
you upload, like through uploads where you can put images, you can do files and folders too. So, because I actually took, when we did the Workforce Summit last spring, I actually took their template in PowerPoint and uploaded it there and then made the file in Canva, and we ended up downloading it again.
Okay.
But you can upload a presentation the same way you would any other file. And you actually can upload a PDF too. Sometimes they'll even be editable.
I have a PowerPoint that I start, like all the text is in there, but it's just like white background, black text.
Oh, yeah.
Boring. And I want to make it cute. And I didn't want to like copy, paste. So I don't go to create. I find upload.
Find the uploads. It's in the left-hand bar. It's about the 4th thing down, uploads. And then upload the file.
Do I have to go into my projects first?
Yeah, I think it is in,
Your project.
Or open something.
Open something. So like start something.
Yeah.
Okay. You just go to create.
How's it going, Kira?
I mean, I uploaded it.
Okay.
And I find it to add it to this new presentation, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. It went under designs. Okay.
Okay.
File 14 pages.
Good.
It's amazing how much Canva's changed over 4 years. Because when I started as a training coach, I was unfamiliar with Canva itself, and so I started learning about Canva. But then PowerPoint seemed more powerful, and I kind of left Canva behind. And now I'm like, you know what? Maybe Canva has outpaced PowerPoint again. What do you think?
I think for a lot of things, yes. There are a couple of things that I think PowerPoint is better at. Their presentation coach, and I think their recording you can record per slide. So
Okay.
there really isn't a presentation coach function in Canva.
It's still more of a design. Yeah.
It's still more leaning towards design. Yeah.
Yeah, I plan on making this cute in Canva and then re-downloading it into PowerPoint because I have a Slido subscription that embeds with PowerPoint so I can do all my QR code and interacting through PowerPoint. But they're not as cute in PowerPoint.
So then you're just going to make it in Canva and then do the same thing backwards to put it back
I'm going to re-download it out of Canva when it's cute, and then I'll throw in my Slido signs. That way I'll have the interaction points that I need for the thing. But you just can't make them as cute on PowerPoint.
Just make sure when you upload it back, go through it still slide by slide to make sure that the formatting still works, because I've seen that in the past where people have done it both ways, and then by the time they put it back, it looks wonky in PowerPoint, so you still may have a little bit of tweaking to do. Don't just upload it and assume that it's going to be good to go.
Oh yeah, no, I won't. I'll look through it. I've only done that like once before where I've pulled it out because it does like any animation or anything does not follow through to PowerPoint, but I'm not an animated person, so I don't do that. I just want the color schemes and the pictures and the cuteness that it can add, and then I just want to pull it back out.
And the nice AI features they've added in are a little more powerful, maybe.
Yes. I made my very first banner last week on because we're going to order it to be printed like big. And I found the background remover life-changing. And AI made my own background scheme that I wanted for it. Like, I was so excited. I was so proud of myself.
Yay!
I know. I just want to be more Canva-y because I know it can make things cuter or like just more visually pleasing. That's my goal in life is to make things more visually pleasing.
That's a good goal.
Well, thanks, Julie. See y'all later.
You're welcome. Yep. Bye.